Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Bridal Army TV. I am Dawn Rose, and in this video, we're going to be talking about the 3 core elements that make up a really good website. So I want to go over those 3 things, and then I'm going to just sort of, dive a little bit deeper into each one of them and help you guys sort of get those websites so that they're looking really good and they're actually working for you. I hope that you guys are well today. I'm hoping that you can hear me okay as well. I'm just going to adjust, hoping that my microphone is working good. All right, let's get started. Okay, so my 3 core elements today that make up, I've got my notes here, that make up a really successful website. The thing with websites is that we tend to use them as an online brochure, and I want to get you guys to move away from using them as a brochure, as using them as something that people just sort of look through or perhaps even don't look through because it's not really helping them in any way, to being more of an informative website, a website that will work for you, day in, day out, that will work for you basically while you sleep. That's my whole kind of core of building a great bridal business, is that you have things in place that work for you, whether you're right on top of them there and then or not. And so these kind of 3 core elements make up kind of the foundation of a really good website. So first of all, my first kind of core, the first core of your website is that you need 3 what I call key pages. Now the 3 key pages, it doesn't have to be that you only have those 3 pages. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that without these 3 pages, then your website, you're kind of losing out a bit on your website. You're not really using it as well as you can be. So the 3 pages that you need to have are first of all, obviously your home page. Your home page needs to look amazing, because a lot of the time, especially when brides come to us through search engine like Google, or they come through a family or friend, it's likelihood that your home page is going to be passed out to them, right? They're not going to do kind of /price list /menu or anything like that. They're going to get your website, and so your home page needs to be really, really it really needs to stand out and make an impact, and it should always tell your brides what to do. So it needs to have clear what I call calls to action. It has to say, click here, for a cloak, click here to download my X, click here to see my frequently asked questions. So I feel like the homepage needs to be something that should wow your brides. They should look at it and go, oh wow, look at this website, this is amazing. But it should also be something that quite clearly guides your brides into what you want them to do, because without telling somebody what to do, they're just kind of browsing and they're not really knowing what they're looking for. Click here to see my price list, click here to request a quote. Just make it as without having buttons everywhere, but just have it so that it has a really nice sort of header image, so it kind of shows you straight away when they first land on your website exactly what it is that you do. And then underneath we should have basically 3 core. Hi, how you, Lisa? Oh, you love my hair. Thanks, doll. I managed to burn my head this morning. I think I've with the hot tongs. I was in a hurry this morning. I had physio. But yeah, so guys, make sure that your front page, your basically your home page, is really clear, shows them exactly what you do, and it shows them exactly what to do next, what you want to do. It's always really important to tell your brides exactly what it is that you should do, that they should do next. We want to move them on into basically either getting on our email list or becoming a bride, right? So getting a quote from us. So whatever you do, guide them with that home page as to what you really want from them when they initially land on your page. And those people will be they'll be our brides that are probably actively looking as well for a hairstylist and makeup artist. What you'll find is that brides that land straight onto your homepage will be the brides that have requested your details from a family or friend because they've seen somebody else look amazing, and they said, oh yeah, this is my hairdresser, this is my makeup artist, and they've given them your website. So those people are probably thinking, right, well, that's who I want someone that can do that too. So very likely the person that lands on your homepage is going to be the bride that's pretty much ready to book you, or pretty much ready to at least get a quote from you, Or again, they're going to come from a search engine like Yelp or Google, and they're going to be the bride again who is looking to make a booking. When I say that, the reason why I say that is because if you think about why you go onto Google and why we search for things on a search engine, it's because we're specifically wanting to do some kind of action, right? We're wanting to take some kind of action. You know, we may be, we're Googling a restaurant because we want to make a booking. It's the same thing. If somebody is Googling hairstylist, makeup artist, your area, then it's because they're actively seeking for somebody that does that actual thing. So they're going to land on your homepage. So you have to have an outstanding homepage. Second of all, I really suggest that you have what we call a landing page or an opt-in page. Now, I've been doing an intensive session with 8 members of my private Facebook group, and we've kind of created, all of us have created a landing page. Now, with a landing page, this is where it's basically a fancy way of saying we want to gain somebody's name and email address. Okay, so we have a separate page that will offer them something in exchange for their email address. And I would suggest that having an opt-in page on your website or as part of your website, that those are for the brides who are not quite sure of you yet, perhaps haven't met you, maybe coming from social media, they like what you've got online, they may have come through paid advertising, and they're going to land, and rather than just landing on your homepage and not really knowing what to do, we're kind of saying to them, hey, this is what I do, this is how I do it, download my free gift, download my free thing here, give me your name and email address, and let's get to know each other. And I think that a landing page is just a great option, especially for those brides who aren't quite ready to take that path of, yes, I'm ready, I'm looking, actively searching, and I'm ready to book. It's the brides that are saying, I kind of want to know how much you charge, but I'm not really sure because I haven't really met you and I don't really know too much about you. But what's the harm in getting something for free? I'll give you my name and email address and I'll download your free gift. So I think that's one of the best ways to kind of attract brides who really don't know you. Let's have a look what you say. Yelette says, this is a bit tricky for me because my website, I'm doing all the services and adding the wedding page, how you suggested. Yep. So should I have a button on the main page that will take them to the wedding page instead of them just going themselves? Yelette, so do you mean, should you have on your home page a button that kind of moves them to the freebie? Is that what you mean? To your landing page? Is it just clarify that for me. Is that what you're saying? You're thinking you're not really sure where to put the landing page, where it kind of sits with your website? Because I would definitely kind of advertise it on your homepage, because for those people that do just come across your website in the course of, you know, just looking around and again, perhaps they aren't ready to book yet, I would definitely on your homepage have, you know, click here to download my free whatever it is that you're doing, and then get them on your email list that way, definitely, because it means that, you know, if they aren't ready to book yet and they're not ready to make that, click the button that says, you know, check out my price list, you know, make an inquiry with me. Yeah, so I would still do that. So still have, okay, so basically, yeah, so have your homepage, then up the top you've got like your tab maybe for your price list. You might have a tab for your services. You may even have a quote me tab. They're all great things to have. I wouldn't have a specific tab that says, you know, landing page or opt-in page or freebie or anything, but I definitely would have like an image of your freebie sort of on your website somewhere. Maybe you've got, say, like you've got the header image that kind of shows what you do, and then underneath it, you know, you could have a tab that says, you know, click here for my price list, click here, you know, to request a quote, or click here for my freebie, and have a picture of your freebie, and then that would take them to the specific page where they can give you their name and email and download that free guide that we've been talking about in our group. So definitely have your website kind of, or should say, definitely have your landing page or opt-in page as kind of like a standalone page. So there's no direct kind of links to it on your website, except for the button that says, if you'd like a freebie, click here, and it just takes them to it. I hope that makes sense for you. All right, so that was my second suggestion. So you've got the homepage looking amazing. We've got a landing page. And then my third one, of course, is the price list. And you guys know I ramble on about the price list all the time. You must have your price list. So they're my 3 key pages. I'm not going to go over that again, because if you want to watch one of my last videos, I ranted on about having a price list, but and how important it is to have a price list. But definitely price service page, you know, with your price list is, oh, you've got it. Great. That's awesome, Yelitza. So definitely a price list on there. You know, filter out anyone that's going to filter out anyone that can't afford your services, anyone that's kind of umming and erring. If they can't afford you, they won't inquire with you and they won't waste your time. So have your price list up as well. Now, so that's the kind of main core elements, having those 3 pages, having 3 really good pages in order to attract brides, right? It's all about attracting brides and getting brides to inquire with us in some way. Either they're inquiring with us for a quote, or they're inquiring with us and downloading our little freebie that we've got for them. I also think that we need an email service provider. So my second kind of core element of having a really good website is having an email service provider. Now, I'm going to be doing a webinar on MailChimp coming up really shortly, and you guys can join me. It's dawnsbridalalarmy.com/MailChimp, and come and join me. And I'm going to talk you through a MailChimp and how it works and how it can work for you in your business. But an ESP, or email service provider, is a company that can kind of hold all your emails from brides. So every time they inquire with you, whether that be through your opt-in forms to downloading this freebie, or whether it be to inquire with you to book an actual quote itself, to get an actual quote from you, they go onto an email list, and then you basically, all your brides will just keep going on this specific email address. And then what happens is that your email service provider can allow you then to email out those brides in bulk. So when we use Hotmail, Gmail, even when we use our own personal emails to contact our brides, when it comes to kind of like, maybe you want to tell your brides that have gotten your email address that, hey, I've just released all of my free available dates for next June, July and August, weddings, for example. You know, you don't want to just email each bride who's possibly inquired with you, you know, ages ago, you don't even remember. Like, your email service provider, everyone will be on that list, whether they were ready to book then or not, whether they were looking at a wedding that's, you know, 12 months away and you hadn't quite released those dates yet. You will actually be able to email out every single person on that list to tell them that you've now released the dates for, you know, your 12 months or 18 months ahead, however ahead you want to book these people. So yeah, let's see what you said. I'm proud of my landing page. Need to get to the price list. Haven't done that yet because I'm also working on turning my home into my studio. Oh, that's awesome. And yeah, it does take a while to do that. Yeah, so I was lucky with my last house. I converted my garage into my studio, and that took absolutely ages and lots of money as well. So I know how time consuming that is. But with my new house here, I actually had it kind of built for me. So I had, when we were building this new house, I had all of my taps and everything all put into it. So kind of when I moved in, all I had to do is get a plumber, and we were all done. It was all good. So I know how hard that is. It takes a lot of time, and building up a studio as well as trying to build up your business and keep it going and make money. I know it's really hard, but keep going, Yelitza. I'm going to encourage you to keep going, because I know you've been working really hard on this. And you know, just keep plowing through. Every time you get a spare minute to work on your website, you know, get those prices up. Even if the best thing to do, I found with my prices, was to kind of put them onto a Word document. So type them up, and then all I had to do really was just copy and paste them into my website. So that's the best thing to do, because sometimes it's difficult to actually write your price list directly onto your website. So if I can give you any tip there, it's to set everything out like in a Word document, so on the computer, or Pages if you're using a Mac. And then type it all out, and then copy and paste it across. Once you've got everything sorted and you know exactly what you're thinking about, you know what, where you want it to be set out, maybe set it out in a document first on the computer, and then transfer it across. All right, so guys, so my three core elements. So my first core element was those 3 specific pages: your homepage, landing page, your service or price list. And then my second core element of a successful website is going to be having an email service provider. So the email service provider that I love is MailChimp. The reason why I love MailChimp is just because it's just so easy to use. At the moment, it's completely free as well to use, and you can capture your bride's information on your website using MailChimp. And if you want to know more about that, you're welcome, doll. If you want to know more about how you can use MailChimp to capture your bride's information and to store it and where it stores and how it works, and how you email in bulk, etc., come join me on my free class, dawnsbridalearmy.com/MailChimp. I'll pop it in the comments below. Now, my third core element of a successful website is social proof. It's a really great idea to, number one, embed your Instagram page as your Instagram account, as your gallery. So instead of having the old school gallery where you've got loads and loads and loads of photos everywhere, it takes ages for them to load up and people are trying to sort of look at, forget all that. Get them over onto your social media, get them looking at what you're doing online. You know, even having that whole, you can download the Facebook, I think it's what they call it, a Facebook like box. And it's, you know, it's only kind of small and it sits on your on your page, and they can kind of see the first few, so the first post or something, but you can also click to go and see what you're up to on Facebook. You can embed your actual Instagram account into Wix, definitely, and I know you can do it as well with WordPress, and I'm assuming you can probably do the same with, what's the other one people are using? Squarespace. So those are the sort of three main websites that people are using, but you can definitely download or I should say embed your Instagram and your Facebook into your websites, and I think that helps with social proof. I also think that social proof is your awards and accreditations. If you have any of those, definitely have those on your website. I also think that your testimonials from your brides are a really good idea. Don't bombard people with testimonials. It doesn't have to be testimonials absolutely, you know, all over your page. You don't have to have a whole page of testimonials. Really, you just have to have maybe 2 or 3 testimonials, even maybe have 2 on that home page, and then maybe one I said to you about last week's video was about your About Me page. And I said that in your About Me page, it's great to have a testimonial from a bride who says how that you've helped them. So, you know, having 2 or 3 testimonials that really make your business stand out, make your business kind of shine to those people looking at it, I think that kind of social proof is really good as well. So if you can embed your Instagram accounts, I'm very much for the fact of your Instagram account should be mainly professional. I like mixing a little bit of personality and personal into my Instagram because I feel like it kind of engages my brides a little bit more. I do like those crisp, clean Instagram accounts. They look great, but when your photo is always the same, when it's just, you know, one side of somebody's hair and, you know, it's just all different colors, I think, well, it looks great, but it doesn't really tell me anything about that person. And whilst I do think that you should use Instagram as your kind of gallery, as your best work, I also think that it's nice sometimes to have pictures of yourself and pictures of your family and what you're doing in your life, because, you know, I feel like when you have great hair, like you feel confident, for example, you know, when you're, you know, wearing makeup, it makes you feel a little bit smiley, a little bit happy. So why not take a selfie of yourself? You know, this is how I look today. You know, this is not just about the fact that I love my clients and I love what I do. So I love what I look like myself today. I think I look cool, you know, check out my new hat or whatever it is. I feel like you need to inject a little bit of personality into your Instagram accounts, but instead of having those massive galleries where you're downloading, where your brides are coming on and there's all these photos just taking ages to load up. 3 seconds, guys. You've seen my posts. 3 seconds it takes for a bride to look at your website. 3, 2, 1, they're gone. If it's taken them that long to load up one photo and you've got dozens of them on your website, it's just going to repel your brides. So for me, it's all about, instead of having like massive, I'm not saying don't have photos on your website, absolutely have images, but select the really top-notch images for your website. select where you're going to have them. So only display, you know, a few of them here, a few of them there on your individual pages. But embed your Instagram gallery so that if they really want to have a good look at what you do, they're going to go straight over to social media. And then that also then helps with your traction and helps with you gaining a little bit more traction on your social media, and you're moving them over either onto Facebook or onto Instagram, wherever it is that you perhaps display most of your work. I would say to try and move them across to there. If you're going to have any kind of gallery, use that as a gallery rather than having loads and loads of photos, because believe me, when you go onto a website, you would know as well, again, like we all know, if we go onto somebody's website and it takes ages to load, they've lost you straight away. I'm guilty of it myself. So think about that when you're thinking of your brides. You know, minimize the amount of photos, images that are on your website, and you know, look at it more as social proof. Look at it more as kind of defining what you do and backing up what you do as well. So showing your brides that, you know, you do have some kind of social proof on your website. And for kind of your accreditations, if you've got any accreditations, if you've got any affiliations with I don't know, Wedding Wire, The Knot, Easy Weddings. Some I know in the here in Australia we have ABIA, Australian Bridal Industry Association. Anything like that, I absolutely think that you should display them. You could display them at the bottom of your website. I said as well about having those in your About Me page. Hello, Elizabeth. How are you today? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth. You're welcome. So I think that having social proof, having those accreditations, it definitely cements you in the industry. It shows that you actually, you know, are genuine. I think having any kind of social proof, whether that be awards, whether that be testimonial, or whether that be just the fact that you have this amazing Instagram account, amazing Facebook account, where you are constantly updating your brides and your clients on what you do. Social proof is definitely the way to go with that. So let me recap before I go. My 3 core elements that make up a successful website are the 3 pages: homepage, landing page, services / price list page. My second core element is having a really good email service provider. It doesn't have to be MailChimp. There are plenty of others out there. And if you want to learn more though about an email service provider and learn more about MailChimp, dawnsbridalarmy.com/MailChimp. And my third core element is having social proof. That's it today, everyone. Enjoy your weekend. I'll be back again next week. We're going to keep talking about websites because I know that it's something that is taking, it takes time to build up. And I know that talking with my smaller group where we've been doing a lot of testing, it's one of the things that it's very time consuming, and you know, people get stuck on and they're not really sure what to do. So we're going to keep working on our websites. Any questions that you've got, let me know. I will be doing a Q&A. I was going to do it last week, but I'm going to do a Q&A this Sunday. So if you have questions for me, I'm going to do it in our private Facebook community. Come over and find us there. That's facebook.com/groups/Dawn's Bridal Army. I would love to have you in our private community. And for those of you that have any questions, you can leave them for me and keep the conversation going below. And those of you in my private group, come ask me your questions. I'll put a post up today saying ask me anything. And guys, start asking me questions and I'll be answering them live on Sunday. All right, guys, have a great weekend, and I shall see you again soon. All right, bye for now.